Today we're doing the most famous walk you can do in Paris, which is, baby?
We go from Paris to Nice where it's a little bit warmer.
Where are we right now?
Yeah.
From Arc de Triomphe to the Louvre.
Through Champs-Élysées.
Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah.
If you just walk straight through, it should take about an hour, but there's a lot to see between one end and the other. And in this video, we're gonna cover as much as possible. This is it. Can't get any closer. This is Paris. We'll also take a few detours as they're worth the views. Paris, je t'aime. So if you're in Paris for the Olympics and beyond, join us. We have a series of videos that will help you plan your trip.
Mon chéri, je t'en prie, ne...
You already arrived? Coming up. Nobody warns you about the number of steps here. Inside the arch, there are some explanations about the importance of this monument. Here are some pieces that came off over the years due to general damage and wars. The construction of this monument started in 1806. Napoleon wanted a grand monument to celebrate the French victories in war. It only finished in 1836. He was already dead. Didn't see it ready. Now from up here you get the best views. You can see basically every famous landmark. The most famous avenue in Paris, Champs-Élysées, and right over there, the Eiffel Tower. As you can see, in Paris itself, there are not that many skyscrapers.
There's a few.
Tour Montparnasse, that tower, but you know what? Parisians didn't like that at first. Maybe they still don't do today. Too different from everything else.
You look over there though.
That's La Défense, Europe's largest purpose-built business district, located in the Paris metropolitan area. What's your favorite view?
You.
Aww. And from up here?
You and you?
Aww. And from Paris? Me in Paris?
Yeah.
Did you count how many avenues around?
No.
12. Yeah, 12 avenues departing from here and connecting some of the main landmarks in Paris. With the reforms in Paris in the 19th century, they opened up these large avenues to make it easier, actually, to move troops between important points. The narrow streets could easily be blocked up by rebels. What was here first, the Arch or Champs-Élysées?
Champs.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Good job. Good job. It's video.
Oh, okay.
You should know it by now. So guess what's the plan for now? We're gonna walk all this until the end. In this video, we're gonna take you from Arc de Triomphe to the Louvre. Ciao! When you arrive, it's very rushed to immediately go upstairs, but when you finish the visit, and after everything you learn up there, you can see all the details here. The names on the walls, for instance, are homages to the soldiers who fought for France. The arch is extremely beautiful, so full of details. Down here, there's also the Eternal Flame, a homage to the unknown soldier. The side facing Champs-Élysées represents the departure of the troops to the war. The opposite side, up here, represents the return from war. For us tourists, this is just another beautiful monument, but for the French people, it's a very important symbol of patriotism and nationalism. Today, this monument celebrates not only that original victory, but all lives lost in wars. Now, this part down here is free. Anyone can come here and see everything up close. You just pay if you want to go up. Let me tell you a mistake that a lot of people do here. Look at this, look at this. They try to cross here. No, people, there's an underground tunnel. Just look for it. This is not safe and it's considered illegal.
Buy your ticket in advance or you wait in line.
Not your thing, huh?
No.
The line is huge. The arch is so big that this was the most prominent building in Paris for several decades, until the Eiffel Tower was built.
Paris sous les trombes, Paris sous les trombes. Il doit se nourrir du meilleur comme du pire. Qu'est-ce qui le retient ici? Qu'est-ce qui l'attire? Certains rêvent au paradis, au paradis. Voir de Paris, Paris. Se nourrir du meilleur comme du pire.
Dante! Hey, hey! So Someone said he didn't want anything. It's real chocolate. Probably the most affordable thing you can get at Champs-Élysées. Actually, not even this is cheap. Coffee, hot chocolate, and a cookie, 16 euros. Oh, and here's Lido. It's a nightlife institution here in Paris, famous for the performances. Even Elvis Presley had a surprise appearance here back in the day. Isn't this the most charming Apple store ever? They're normally so modern, high-tech.
I don't like apples, I like peaches.
Homage to a Brazilian. Remember him? This is where we disagree. He invented the airplane. He invented the airplane.
He's number 2, and this the Wright brothers.
I knew you'd say that. He flew over Paris. The Wright brothers
Flew over North Carolina.
but nobody saw. His flight was documented by thousands of people here in Paris.
On Christmas, something special happens. Clip, clip, clip.
Ah, and it opens the
Santa
vault.
Claus comes out.
I'd rather have some Louis Vuitton gifts coming out.
Of course you would.
This is the future Louis Vuitton hotel, right next to the Maison, which is actually the world's largest Louis Vuitton store.
The store is ginormous, and there's a line to get in.
I forget where I'm at.
How come?
Forget. Forget.
That's so you.
Forget.
This avenue inspired so many others, you know, all over the world, right? Isn't it amazing to be in the original one? This is it, the real deal.
The real deal. The original.
Oh my goodness, there's another Louis Vuitton right here. Wow. Wow, how many there are along Champs-Élysées? My favorite team here in Europe. I worked for almost 2 months at PSG Stadium. I just love them.
You know what? Where did you see arcades before?
All over Australia.
Go check out those videos. They have arcades in Australia too. How many Zara stores are there? Go look at the design up there, huh?
Oh, so cool.
And everybody's looking down here. That's why you have me.
La Durée, probably the most famous sweet shop in Paris from 1862. They invented the macaron in the 30s. Oh, bonjour. Un macaron, s'il vous plaît. Framboise. Merci beaucoup. Bonne journée. Mr. La Durée himself. Au revoir. Look at how lovely. Well, I'm gonna eat over here because it is exploding with people inside. Even the napkin is branded. I got the raspberry. Yes. Wow. Real raspberry here inside. So delicious. Not cheap, but worth it. Verdict?
By the store.
Lovely avenue, both sides, right? But one side is more expensive than the other.
Oh, really?
The right side is more expensive than the left. Why? Pourquoi?
I don't know.
Because it gets more sun?
Oh, it's that side that gets more sun. But Versace's on this side, so I don't believe you.
Well, Louis Vuitton is on both, to guarantee.
Oh, yeah.
As it's cold here for a good part of the year, that's a very important thing to take into consideration. Grand Palais, Petit Palais. Both museums facing one another. Time to put your French to good use.
Okay.
Grand Palais, Petit Palais, meaning?
Big bathroom, little bathroom? No, even though they're a museum. Musée.
And the meaning?
Palace, large and small. Did I pass?
You passed,
Okay.
approved. But even the small is pretty big, huh? Grand Palais, it's a fine arts museum, but it's under refurbishment. This one has free entrance, but you know that we have plans to see a different museum today. And look at this, how wonderful. Just a quick detour. This is not only one of the most beautiful bridges in Paris, but based on the number of people over here, you can imagine that it comes with a view, huh? And back there, a museum showcasing France's military history.
Hotel des Invalides.
Right before the beginning of the French Revolution, mobs broke into that place and they seized 32,000 rifles, which obviously contributed to the revolution. And remember Napoleon Bonaparte? He's buried right there. This bridge, by the way, was built this low so that from that balance they could have a view to Champs-Élysées. Now back to Champs-Élysées. And now we arrived at Place de la Concorde. This is the largest and most monumental square in Paris. Probably the most famous is this obelisk here. It's a 3,000-year-old Egyptian obelisk, but this square also has a tragic history. There was a sculpture here dedicated to Louis XVI. He was the king right before the French Revolution, and when the revolution started, they not only took the statue down, but also installed the guillotine. Now, guess who was the first person beheaded here? The king himself. Things got so bad that in 1 month alone, more than 1,300 people were executed here. Ah, look at the views! This is also a venue for the Olympics. Look at all the construction going on here, preparations. Pour les Jeux Olympiques? Ah, what sport?
BMX and skateboard.
Ah, how nice!
More games.
Very nice. Très bien. Merci beaucoup.
What time is it? I'm hungry. What time is it?
It's time to eat. Quick detour to see one of the most famous shops in Paris. Not only one building, but three. All this. It's Galeries Lafayette. Look at this view. Wow. And it's totally free.
Maybe not.
Why?
Might cost you a metro ticket.
You can walk over here. You can also go shopping or eating. But the terrace itself is not part of a restaurant or anything. You can just come here and admire the view. Worth the extra walk?
Very much so.
Yeah, we came really out of our way, but this is worth it, huh?
Yeah.
I'm even sweaty after all this walk. Paris, je t'aime. What's the meaning, Gordon?
We're moving.
That's what it says?
We're moving. Yeah.
Galeries Lafayette has been a trendsetter since the beginning. In the early 60s, this is where a lot of famous fashion designers got their start, like Pierre Cardin, Cacharel, Yves Saint Laurent.
Gordon.
Lunch with a view to the tower.
The view's great.
They do have some very affordable options here for lunch. Someone ate every single piece here, huh?
Yep. Yep.
Happy now? Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Wow. The dome is so famous that they even have a selfie spot here. Wow. There's a line to go for a selfie. This dome had to be removed during World War II, piece by piece, and some panels were never found again. This shop has remained a family business for 5 generations. Recognize this place? All this here is the Louvre. You see these squares? It looks like they put them here on purpose for people to step up and take pictures, try to touch the top of the pyramid. Here in the middle, the most famous entrance, but this is far from being the best. Forget that pyramid. Come over here towards an underground mall called Carrousel du Louvre. These pyramids were obviously not here when the Louvre was first built, and they were criticized, by the French people. They don't quite fit the decor, but they actually have a purpose. One of the main complaints people had is not knowing where the entrance is. That's what the pyramid is for. Signage. Down here, the line is way smaller compared to up there, and you're protected from the weather. Now you're probably wondering, how come we're going to the Louvre at the end of the day? Normally this is the first thing that people do early in the morning. Exactly because of that. We bought tickets for 6 p.m. on purpose because there's one day of the week, today, on Fridays, that the museum is open until almost 10 p.m. And chances are it won't be as crowded. The Mona Lisa is so popular that they have signs throughout the museum indicating where to go to see her. This is Botticelli. You normally think of the Louvre as simply an art museum with paintings and sculptures, but there's actually art even on the ceiling. This is one of the most famous galleries in the Louvre, the Italian Renaissance. The Louvre was a royal palace before, right? And this gallery had so many uses. One of them that got famous in history was an event with King Henry IV. He invited everyone who was suffering from some kind of pain to come here. He touched them, claiming that if the king was touching them, God was healing them. And there she is, the center of the room, that big wall only for her, huh?
Renata, I seen it.
Don't want to get close?
I was in the same room.
The Mona Lisa was never that famous, over the centuries. It only got famous because it was stolen. In 1911, here from the museum, an employee of the museum stole, exactly because it was too small. And then with all the publicity in the newspapers and this and that, people started talking about it. And today, look at this.
This is madness.
This is it. Can't get any closer. No, in all seriousness, the Mona Lisa is famous for the enigmatic smile. From any angle, she appears to be looking at you. Leonardo da Vinci never finished the Mona Lisa. He brought it to France when he came to visit the king, and the king bought it right there. That's how it ended up in France. Who understands about fine arts can tell that the painting is unfinished. There are other paintings here by Leonardo da Vinci that don't get a fraction of the attention. Still, they're protected with bulletproof glasses.
Did you notice something? Back in the day, people liked to be naked.
That's art, baby. So smart that they have shops spread throughout the museum so that people don't have to squeeze, at the end in one single store. When you come to the Louvre, you need a plan because this is too big and you can't see everything in one day or in one trip. Either come with a guide, get an audio guide, or just look for the routes that they suggest on their website. That's what we're doing. We got the route here and we just follow along. Two more unfinished artworks that are considered masterpieces today. These two here by Michelangelo.
Before being a palace, the Louvre was a castle.
This is really beautiful. Wow, 400 rooms, 35,000 pieces of art, and that's not even 30% of the entire collection of the Louvre. All the rest is in storage. And with the long spring and summer days here in France, you come out still in time for the sunset. Welcome to Tuileries, a beautiful garden that will take you back to where, Gordon?
Champs-Élysées.
Place de la Concorde, Champs-Élysées, and Arc de Triomphe, if you keep walking back.
Champs-Élysées.
Such a lovely park, but it has not always been this peaceful. There was a palace here, and this is where the last king of France and his queen, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, this is where they tried to hide from the French Revolution. But it didn't work. They got caught and died in the guillotine. About 100 years later, the palace was totally destroyed in another uprising. Nice, huh? Yeah. We just need the baguette and the champagne now.
No steak tartare, a gallon of vino.